Delta weather.
After 2 weeks of dry weather, the rain returned today, making for a very wet and soggy President's Day across the Delta. The rain started about 6 o'clock this morning and didn't come to an end for most areas until we moved into the afternoon hours around 2, 3 o'clock. That's when we saw the rain finally begin to push off to the east and out of the Delta region. But we had some strong storms. There's even a couple thunderstorms popped up, especially in the southern part of the Delta. We had one severe thunderstorm warning in Issaquena County early this morning around 9 o'clock this morning. But other than that, we escaped the real damage of this system, and now we are seeing the clouds begin to push out, but we still have some of that remaining mist/fog as we go through the rest of this evening. But down and out to our south and southeast, they saw some very strong storms push through the areas. You can see plenty of thunder and lightning, especially in South Mississippi as we move throughout the afternoon hours, as they saw some very warm temperatures out ahead of this system. But now things have pretty much come to an end across the region. But we can see it was a very ugly day in the state of Mississippi, as we had a few tornadoes were spotted today, plenty of trees knocked down with the blue dots, and then even the green dots will be your inch-size hail or bigger. So you can see plenty of storm reports across the southern part of the state of Mississippi, especially south of I-20 and east of I-55. And taking a closer look at some of these tornado reports, we'll move down into this first system. We can see the first tornado touched down right around the Weston area and actually caused some damage to the high school. All these red dots are different tornado damage reports, whether that be structure damage or power lines and trees knocked down as a result of that tornado. As it continued the track off to the north and northeast out of the Weston area and headed off and continued the track off to the east and made its way just to the east of the Raleigh area, then went through Montrose and continued off to the north and northeast. So that was a long-standing tornado, about an EF1 to EF2 tornado that touched down this afternoon. The good news is no deaths are reported, but a few minor injuries as some of these homes were damaged that fell on some of those people as well. And even one person was trapped inside a semi-truck as a tree fell on that. And then as we move off to the north, we can see another few reports of a couple tornado briefly touched down just to the west and south of the Crossroad area and just to the north of Carthage. You can see a couple reports of some structure damage and a mobile home or two destroyed in that. So it was a very active afternoon across the Magnolia State as the storms pushed off to the east, and with it, it produced quite a bit of rainfall. As you can see, everyone saw at least an inch plus of rain, and in Greenwood, they picked up 1.37 inches of rain, setting a new record for the state, breaking the old of 1.23, which was set back in 1962. So you can see quite a bit of rain made its way in across our area, and now we're seeing some cooler air begin to filter in behind that as we're down to 46 degrees here in Greenville, still hanging on to 51 in Greenwood and 45 in Cleveland. That's all because the winds are now turning out of the northwest between 7 and 12 miles an hour, and that's creating a little bit of a wind chill as it feels more like 40 degrees here in Greenville and 49 in the Greenwood area. The system that could produce the rain is now continuing to track off into the Tennessee and Kentucky Valley and up into the mid-Atlantic as well, as where they're dealing with some wintry mix and then some snow up in the New England area. So as we go through the rest of tonight and into tomorrow, we can see temperatures are going to remain pretty steady, only dropping into the lower 40s. We'll have a little few passing clouds and maybe some of this fog by tomorrow morning, but that'll begin to clear out as you head off to work tomorrow morning. Temperatures now making it into the upper 40s by 8 o'clock. But we're going to warm quickly. As you can see, by tomorrow afternoon, we're topping out into the mid-upper 60s. Then as we move into the evening hours, maybe a few clouds push back in for our northern areas. Temperatures dropping into the lower 50s by 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Then we'll drop all the way down to the upper 30s by the time you wake up Wednesday morning. We're going to have a high of 61 degrees as the winds turn more out of the north. So a slight cool down on Wednesday, but remaining sunny. 70 as we head into Thursday, getting into the lower 70s by the first half of the weekend as well. But then by Sunday and into Monday, we are looking at the slight chance of some showers making their way back in, helping to drop temperatures a little bit back down to the 60s and then 50s. And one more note, I want to say thank you to a couple of the students over at St. Joe's. They had me and Stephen Robinson come talk to them about Career Day. There's some budding broadcast people over there, so me and Stephen had a wonderful time talking with them for a little bit this afternoon.